don't.
I'm going to ask you every time, Brick.
Okay.
Someday you'll say yes.
Someday I'll say no.
Yes, I do. All right, hello and welcome everybody to the Lobbycast. This is episode 297.
7.
And today is October 30th.
2014.
All Hallows Eve.
Yes.
2014, yes. Yes. Got to make sure that we know exactly what year that we're in.
Well, I do.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I also know what year I'm in.
It's not certain at some points throughout the day.
Okay. We will only be in this year for 2 more months.
That's really going to screw me up.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
All right, with me today is...
Brick. That seemed like a lot of build-up for a little reward.
I'm Geoff, as always.
Yes, you are.
As always. All right, this episode absolutely not brought to you by Guinness Blonde American Lager. Something I'd tried out, not only because I'm a fan of Guinness, but also because they have been advertising it like crazy on all the sports channels.
It's true. They really have.
Basically, if you're watching a sports channel, namely ESPN or NFL Network, and you see a commercial, it's either going to be Xbox or Guinness American Blonde.
Or, at this time of year, a political ad.
I haven't seen many of those.
I've seen so many of those.
On the sports channels?
Yeah. Like last Sunday during the Broncos game, went to commercial break. There were 4
Oh, but the Broncos game was on Fox, wasn't it?
CBS.
Or CBS.
But
yeah, it was on a local channel. That's why. I'm talking about the national, the cable networks.
Oh, okay, like ESPN and stuff.
Yeah.
I still see a bunch of them on those, too.
Really?
Yeah, especially like now that it's getting closer.
Automatically just blank those out.
Because it's just, I guess it's like crunch time now. I mean, it is crunch time now because there's, until Tuesday.
Who would, what politicians would advertise on national channels for midterm elections?
Well, the thing is that even though they're national channels, they still can. There's still some ad space that is reserved for local spots.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
And so now, granted, where you are in Westminster, there might not be a congressional race.
Good.
Like there is where I live in my district. There is a heated congressional race as well as a Senate race, and so it is just constant ads for those.
I get lots of junk on my house.
Yeah. You can thank people like me for that.
People like you?
Yeah.
Do you volunteer for?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's essentially the job.
Do any of the candidates see the irony of littering a neighborhood with lots and lots of paper in relation to the environment?
Nope, they don't. They don't, especially because most of the volunteers do not actually walk up to the door and knock on the door and talk to people like they're supposed to. Most of the time, they just circle "not home" and clip one of those to the doorknob and go on their way.
Wow.
So that's why you get a lot of those, is because usually, even if you're home, they don't do that because
they're on my fence oftentimes.
Because people don't want to walk up to your door if they.
It's okay. I don't want them to walk up to my door.
Yeah. If there's a fence, then we're told specifically not to walk up to doors. Yeah.
Good.
So your fence is working, sir.
It works for some things.
Well, for that at least.
I would like for more solicitors to be fully aware of personal property rights in the state of Colorado and what entering my fence means.
Yes. Yeah. But People think, oh, it's a fence. I can see the door right there.
Yeah.
So clearly, he wants me to come up to it.
Obviously, he wants me to open his gate.
And come up to it.
And spill some kind of nonsense on his front porch.
Oh, that happened. Did that happen? Spilled nonsense on your front porch?
Yes, papers. Spilled papers and stuff, not liquids.
I thought like they were carrying a soda with them or something. It was like, oh, sorry. Here's a flyer.
My bad. No. All right. Well, do you want to go ahead and get into the news, Mr. Brick?
Sure.
Well, we got confirmation of quite a few new Marvel movies coming out. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
Maybe more so than you. You're excited about certain ones, but I'm kind of excited about the list.
I mean, I'm excited about the list because it means that we're going to have Marvel movies for a long time.
Yeah, for quite some time. What's coming out next year? What are the 2015 titles, do you know?
Oh, God.
They'd already been confirmed. I don't have them
Age of Ultron.
Right.
And, others.
DC has one of theirs coming out.
Batman
vs. Superman in June.
Yeah, maybe.
And do we have Star Wars Episode 7 next year?
Yes, I think so.
Holiday though.
Yeah, it's going to be late next year.
Okay, because it just started post-production.
Right. Well, and old Han broke his leg, so they had to wait on some production for that,
yeah,
too.
But it's all wrapped up now.
Is it wrapped up? Okay. Well, then, yeah, it should be late next year.
Beautiful. Isn't it amazing that it takes them a year to add in visual effects?
Well, I mean, when you consider...
And do the editing. It's editing also. But.
Right, but when you consider the extensive nature of the visual effects that go into movies like Star Wars and stuff like that, and also editing, because they shoot...
Not A New Hope. It's practically spaceships on popsicle sticks.
I mean, nowadays. But even then, I mean, with the editing process with the spaceships on popsicle sticks, it took a while.
It's only a model.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it takes a long time. They shoot, I mean, probably close to on some movies, a good 10 hours of film, and have to cut it down because they want to shoot everything that they possibly can, and then they take the best stuff and cut it back. So even when you get like a director's cut on DVD, you're still not getting everything that they shot.
Right.
You're just getting a little bit more of what they shot.
Fair enough. All right, well, let's go ahead and go through the list. Captain America Civil War is coming May 6th of 2016, and that's going to be cool. So that is a confirmation that that's where they're going with the storyline.
Well, that's where they should be going with the storyline.
But we still don't know if they're going to be able to add in Spidey and
which they
Wolverine.
Really need to. They need to have both of those in that story.
Right.
Because it's such a good story, but it's good because it encompasses all of Marvel's superheroes.
Yeah. Second, Doctor Strange, November 4th, 2016, and we just got some casting news on this. There's been a lot of speculation about who would play Doctor Strange. We came down to Benedict Cumberbatch, who had not been listed in the possible actors to play Doctor Strange.
Right.
And I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah, he's perfect.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Could have played him better.
Right. Well, I don't know if nobody could have played him better.
Who do you think? Who's your?
I don't know. I don't know. If you weren't already playing Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr.
No, because I mean, yeah, I couldn't see it. I couldn't see Downey Jr. as Doctor Strange.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. They're a bunch of different people. Next up, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, May 5th of 2017. Thor Ragnarok, which is battle of in the heavens, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
July 28th, 2017. Black Panther, November 3rd, 2017. think that's a great addition there.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
Avengers Infinity War Part 1 in May of 2018. What were you going to say about Black Panther?
Also, that's another reason why they really need to work out their stuff with Fox, because Storm and Black Panther are married.
Oh, crap. That's right.
You know, not anymore, but
right.
they are for a stint.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much crossover between those two. I mean, they're the same universe, but those two separate movie universes.
Yeah.
That they really need to work it out, because they could make so much more money if they did.
So much more money.
Because they could keep making movies for years to come.
Yeah.
Like, not just, they are.
It'd be better if Marvel had proper control over their properties.
Right. Well, Disney.
Proper creative
control.
input.
Yeah. I mean, if they're like, oh, it'd be really cool if we could put Spider-Man in this one, and then they're like, oh, wait, no, we can't, because Sony's not going to let us.
Yeah, not that I've been unhappy with the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Oh, yeah. Or the X-Men movies. I mean,
the recent X-Men movies. Because First Class was good, and Days of Future Past was good. So,
but Wolverine. Brr.
Yeah. After that, Captain Marvel in June of 2018, Inhumans in November of 2018, and then Avengers Infinity War Part 2 in May of 2019. Now, there was another one, wasn't there?
It was like Captain America, Serpent something.
Captain America, and wasn't there also one with one of the female heroes?
I don't think so. I thought
there's been lots of speculation about a Black Widow movie.
Well, there might be,
but I'm not sure. These are the ones that have been officially announced. Going through the dates, there are still definitely blank spots where they could fit in another movie. But anyway, that's a really cool list of things that have been confirmed. Looking forward to them. I've been really happy. The last Captain America movie, Captain America and Winter Soldier, that was a great movie.
It really was. It was good.
I really, really enjoyed that. And then we also have a list of the Golden Joystick Awards winners. And these are basically, they're video game awards. So, looking at DayZ, do you know what DayZ is?
I don't. No.
Okay, well, it picked up an award for Best Original Game and in association with Digital Spy, and then Best Indie Game in association with Official Xbox Magazine. Mm-hmm. And so I was curious about that.
I'm guessing it's a zombie game of some sort.
That would make sense, for sure. I don't know what these in association with games would be.
I'm not 100% sure on what that is either.
Right. But it's an interesting list. Best gaming moment in association with Sony Xperia. They must just be sponsored awards. They're just collecting money for something. So I'm just going to shorten that to best gaming moment. Last of Us, Left Behind, The Kiss.
Yeah.
Do you know that moment? I haven't played Last.
I know the moment, but I haven't played the DLC that they're referring to.
Best multiplayer, Battlefield 4. Most played game of the year, Rust. Are you familiar with Rust?
No.
Best visual design, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Yeah, I'd kind of agree with that.
Okay. Now, was that a pretty decently sized game?
Yeah, it was pretty good size.
Okay,
for sure.
And I'll get to this in my weekly watches, but I listened to an interview with the historian for Ubisoft, one of the historians working on the thing. He said the game's twice the size as Black Flag.
Unity?
Yeah,
Wow.
Unity is.
Wow, that's pretty.
Is that
big.
pretty massive?
That's pretty big.
Okay,
that's pretty big.
Yeah. So let's see here. Best online game, Hearthstone: Heroes of Warcraft. So there's a bunch of games here that I'm just not familiar with. Best storytelling, The Last of Us Left Behind.
I mean,
I'm familiar with that one, but I don't...
I would assume that it is, considering what The Last of Us was. So, I would assume nothing less from the DLC, even though I haven't played it yet.
Gaming Platform of the Year, Steam.
Yeah.
Lifetime Achievement Award going to Hideo Kojima.
Uh-huh.
Sounds right.
Yep,
Game of the Year, Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, I could see it.
Isn't it supposed to be one of the hardest games ever?
Yeah, it's very difficult. Very difficult.
Okay. And Innovation of the Year goes to Oculus Rift DK2.
Yeah, I want one of those in my house.
That's the virtual reality headgear.
I haven't even gotten to play with it, and I want one of those in my house.
Lou was at the Microsoft store here in Denver, and they were showing off. They were showing off one maybe for an event this last weekend, right?
Yeah, I saw him post about that.
Yeah, so I don't know much about it. Maybe check your local Microsoft store, although there aren't a ton of them, and see if they've got it on hand for you to take a look at. All right, that's it for the news for me. Do you have anything that you wanted to talk about?
No, not that I can think of.
Oh, you know what? We did have one more little bit. And the Microsoft Store thing reminds me of this. Microsoft Store is giving $100 in trade for a functioning Xbox 360 towards the purchase of an Xbox One.
Wow,
and
that's
in
really
addition
good.
to that, they had a $50 price drop this week. So you could get, with your trade-in of your system, an Xbox One, even the Assassin's Creed set for $250.
Yeah, because it just doesn't.
Which is a great deal.
That's the only thing, is it doesn't have a
Kinect. No
Kinect.
Kinect.
Right.
But
with a
pretty
Kinect,
awesome.
With a Kinect would be $350.
Yeah,
So,
and that's not bad.
No, considering it was $500. So
And you're getting a copy of the game. Oh, don't you get Black Flag and Unity with that?
I'm not sure.
With the box
I didn't know
set?
that they had a box set for Assassin's Creed yet.
It's a white Xbox One.
Really? Because I knew that they were doing one for Sunset Overdrive that was a white one.
I think it's a white one. Maybe I'm wrong.
Because Sunset Overdrive I know is a white one.
The Assassin's Creed box set was recently announced.
Okay. I haven't heard anything about it yet.
Interesting.
And then there's the Call of Duty bundle, and there's Madden bundles, and they're starting to finally
a lot of bundles.
Yeah, and they're all digital copies of the game.
Yeah,
because that's what they want to promote.
So what?
You know?
Yeah, I think that's great. So, let's see here. Yeah, I think that's it for news.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into the Weekly Whatchas. Brick, what you listening to this week, sir?
I got the new Hosier album.
Hosier
from Amazon, and it's a good album, but the thing that I'm most impressed with is Amazon's packaging procedures.
Yeah,
that is fantastic.
Yeah, they're really good for packaging vinyl and other things also, but especially good for packaging vinyl.
I doubt I'm going to go to a record store ever again. I mean, because it's really
no
good.
Reason to.
Yeah, there's really good prices on Amazon.
And if you have Amazon Prime, you get 2-day free delivery.
Exactly. I love going to record stores. I do, but there's really not one. If there was one like down the street from my house, I would be more inclined to go to one, but there's not. The closest one that's any good anyway is Twist and Shout. That's on Colfax, Colfax and 30th or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and then you have the Wax Trax stores.
Do we have Wax Trax here?
Yeah.
I thought those were only in like Chicago.
No, we have them here. They're over like 13th and. Jeez, I don't remember the cross streets.
Okay, well, Wax Trax is decent.
They have three, or at least they did, and it's been a while since I've been over that direction. But I'm assuming they're still open. But they had 3 different locations. One was all vinyl, and then I don't know what the other locations were.
Yeah, there was a music store that I got a couple albums from in Portland that was like that they were side by side, and one of them was all CDs.
They're like two on one side of the street and one on the other side of the street.
Yeah, they were. One was all CDs and one was all vinyl. And I walked in the one with all CDs, and I didn't know that there was the one that was all vinyl next door. And I was walking around, I was like, "What? This is Portland, Oregon.
What the fudge?
Where the hell are all the vinyls?" And they're like, "Oh, those are next door. We needed a separate building for them." I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, that makes sense then."
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Amazon's great.
Excuse me, shopkeep. Quick question. WTF?
I think that might have been slightly differently phrased, but my question to him.
Right.
But yeah, that's. I mean, it's a box, and then inside of that box there is packaging, and another box for extra protection.
Extra protection, kids.
Yeah, they double wrap it.
Safe shipping.
Yeah. I was really delightfully surprised because when I got the first box, I was like, "Oh, this is way too big." I was like, "Oh, this is not going to be good," and then I was like, "Oh, there's another box in here."
They do such a good job of packaging vinyl that my reaction was, it seems a little excessive.
Well, but does it? I mean, because those are really delicate.
No, I agree. So
I was thoroughly impressed. I will be ordering.
Yeah, they do a great job. Absolutely.
I'll be ordering most, if not all, of my vinyl from.
That's what I do.
From them. And that's it for me. Just that.
What?
Yeah. Well, I did so much last week.
Okay.
I listened to 7 albums last week.
That's true. You listened to a lot.
So I needed to take a break. Take a break from listening.
All
but
right.
there is more music to come, just in the form of my What You Watching.
Okie dokie. All right. Well, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts this week. Common Sense with Dan Carlin. Always a winner with me. This American Life. Listened to an episode of that today. Stuff You Should Know. Listen to an episode about why the FDA doesn't regulate herbal supplements.
Why do they not? In 10 seconds or less.
In 10 seconds or less? I think the use is so widespread that they don't feel like they can control it.
Because there's just too many of them. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then another episode from them about eco-anxiety, which is people getting like obsessively anxious about the environment. Like feeling like they have to pick up a can off the street and yeah. It's a new form of social anxiety, apparently.
Oh, good.
Our new way for people to have an outlet for their social anxiety.
Oh, good. As if there weren't enough already.
Right.
Fantastic.
Right. Then I listened to a couple episodes of Gamertag Radio, episode 452 and 453, which covered, I think, Assassin's Creed and Destiny, respectively.
Okay.
Just more thoughts on Destiny, about what they need to do for the future, and then the interviews and whatnot they have for Assassin's Creed Unity had me really excited about the game, and I wasn't even really thinking about the Assassin's Creed. But they're talking about how they've changed the game mechanics, they've changed the combat, they've changed the way that you like pick up quests and how integrated that the co-op play is. It sounds pretty exciting.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah. I may be more excited about that than the Master Chief Collection.
I could see why you would.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Most definitely. This is a game I wasn't planning on buying. Now I'm planning on buying it.
I could see that.
We just have to see if it's able to get me away from Destiny. which
It's going to be a tough one for you.
it's going to be a tough one. Let's see here. Oh, and I listened to a couple episodes of Freakonomics. There was a rebroadcast of their episode called "The Upside of Quitting," and there's one. It talks about how some people get stuck in situations whenever quitting probably the right thing to do and would be the most beneficial thing to do, but that they don't.
Wait, so
Or where it is a positive, it can be a positive force in your life.
This is the latest Freakonomics episode?
It's not the most recent.
But what
It's
was
fairly recent.
What was it called?
The Upside of Quitting.
The Upside of Quitting.
It's a rebroadcast
of
one of it's one of their most popular episodes, basically.
So, like, what were some of the upsides of quitting? I'm curious.
Getting better job, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
It had a lot to do with your work. So
Okay.
yeah, and then to contrast that, the next episode was "Failure is Your Friend," and that's and the examples they gave weren't really failure is your friend type examples, but they go to the other side. You know, people who benefit from quitting, and then people who don't quit. And there were some good examples, some bad.
Okay.
They have this thing they call the and I forget the term. It's like launch happy or something like that, and it relates to NASA and how they would always they got such a big head from so many decades of having no issues that occasionally that they would go ahead and give the mission a go whenever they probably shouldn't have.
Okay.
Most notably in the situation with the Challenger
Yeah.
explosion, because they had an interview with a guy who had made a big push to put off the launch because the weather was cold that day, and that the O-rings on the rockets had never been tested in low temperature. And so he warned them over and over again that they shouldn't launch, and they launched anyway.
Like, screw you, guy. We're NASA. We got this.
Yeah, it was that kind of thing. He was put in a position where he had to prove that they would fail, but he didn't have enough time to prove that it would fail, and they hadn't, like, there was no time for the testing and whatnot. He just recommended that they not launch. And
they failed.
And they launched, and it blew into little tiny pieces.
Well, yeah.
So basically, the O-rings could not expand with the temperature change, and so they cracked and leaked fuel, solid fuel out from the rings, and then it all caught fire. Yeah. Anyway, kind of sad still. I mean, that happened in 1986, but it was definitely relevant to the discussion that they were having. So, all right, well, let's move on to what you watching. Brick, what are you watching?
I will tell you. Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Did I say that I finished my rewatch last week?
No.
Okay.
I think you were almost finished with your rewatch. For some reason,
I thought that I did.
Maybe you did. I'm not sure.
Nonetheless, I have restarted it. I really like that show. It's just like one that I have on in the background now, like while I'm doing other things. But so it's you know how like Sam will watch Archer or Blaine will watch Archer and just have it on while they're
sure.
ironing or something. Parks and Rec is that for me now.
Okay.
So and then I did start a actual rewatch of Portlandia because the new season is coming up in January, and I'm very excited for that.
Gotcha.
I did finish my rewatch of Breaking Bad, so I have used my barrel once through finally, and I don't need to use it again for a while. if I do another rewatch, it's probably going to be on Netflix, just because it's so much easier. I mean, not so much easier. It's really not that hard to put the disc in the in the Xbox.
No, but I understand. I understand what you're saying for sure.
But I had to use. If I was going to buy the barrel, I had to use it at least once, and then, and now I feel like I don't have to touch it again, and it can stay in its pristine condition. But I had to watch it through using that one time, and that is over. And what a great show it is! It just reminded me of how awesome that show is. Love it. That's like my third rewatch of that show.
It's pretty great.
It's so good. And it's all like New Mexico and everything. And I don't know, I just love that backdrop to the show.
Yeah, my mom lives in Albuquerque, so, I've gone there and I've taken pictures in front of locations.
Oh, yes. I have seen your picture in front of the Los Pollos Hermanos. And didn't you go to the car wash, too?
I went to the car wash and Jesse's duplex. Jesse and Jane's duplex. Walter and Skylar's house. Jesse's house.
What's the address? 301 Negro Arroyo Lane. Is that it?
something like that. I don't know if that the address may be made up, but
the house obviously is there because it was just a vacant house when they were filming it.
Oh,
right?
And the strip center where Saul's law firm thing is.
Yeah. I really like the second to last episode.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I love the last episode too, but I don't know, it's just something about the second to last episode, especially like with the vacuum store and Saul and Walt in the room, that he just I like. And I can't remember the guy's name who plays the guy whose specialty is getting them out of town.
It's like Robert something or other.
Yeah, but God, just
he's a
perfect.
Great actor. Yeah,
it is so good, And it's like, you watch a show like that and you're like, wow, I think I have problems, And then you see that and you're like, oh, well, maybe they're not, maybe it's not so bad.
Maybe my life's not so bad.
And then I did start a rewatch of another probably equally depressing but also equally amazing show, True Detective. Because it's
a good show.
Yeah, it's like an 8-hour really good movie.
Yeah.
It's
definitely the best thing that Matthew McConaughey's ever done.
Well, yeah, and it's the best thing that HBO's put out in a while.
Yeah.
I mean, they've put out a lot of good stuff, but that is...
Well, they're Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah, but, I mean, Boardwalk Empire doesn't scratch the surface of what...
Really?
True Detective is.
I don't know.
I like Boardwalk Empire, which is coming up here on my list. The Walking Dead, I also watched. Still really good.
I think I'm caught up on that.
I like it. I mean, that's a show that I think...
Bye Bye Bob?
Yeah. That's what this episode was.
Yeah,
and I think that's a show that's gotten better over time, for sure. It's like the first season was pretty good, the second season, and then the third season, I think it really picked up, and it started to get a lot better.
Yeah.
And then Sons of Anarchy. I have not seen the latest episode, but I saw...
I will not spoil that for you.
Okay.
What was the last thing that happened in the one you saw?
The Juice fired at the cops and they took him to jail, and Gemma had to go up to the cabin house, but she was all freaking out because she thought Jax was going to kill her, and then it turns out, no, he wasn't really going to kill her. I mean,
Oh, and then Marcus's people picked up Bobby.
Right, yeah. Pulled out his eye. Yeah, that was fun for the whole family. So, and then I watched the series finale of Boardwalk Empire.
I'm so far behind.
And
I'm at least a season behind. I think I'm a season and a half behind, just like I am with Mad Men.
Yeah, and I thought I was just waiting for a vague ending like they had with The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Not vague at all. It is very definitive, extremely definitive.
Which pretty much means that Nucky Thompson dies at the end of it.
No, I didn't say that because I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
But that kind of...
Well, okay. All right. So I'll just let that go.
Being a season and a half behind, and all things in that world considered, so at some point Al Capone kills off Nucky Thompson.
Nope.
Somebody else?
I mean, yeah.
Or Lucky Luciano?
I'll just say Nucky's dead, but it is not who you think that kills him. You will never guess it until it happens.
His wife?
No.
All right, then.
No. I mean, that was one thing. As I was sitting there watching the whole episode, and I was like, oh, maybe it's not going to happen, And then just the last few minutes, and it's just everything comes back in the last few minutes. You're like, oh!
I'm trying to think who else could that be that involved with it.
Don't think too hard about it because you won't get it.
The former FBI agent?
No.
Huh. Okay.
And then the last one on my list was Foo Fighters' Sonic Highways.
Oh, cool.
This is an HBO show. It's really, really good.
Okay.
I've only watched one episode where they were in Chicago. They do like different...
it's a series?
It's a series.
It's not a special.
No, it's a series. They're doing... I think what the plan is, too, is because their new album is called Sonic Highways.
Yeah.
So I think... Because at the end of this episode, they performed a song, and I think that's what they're going to do, is at the end of each episode, they're going to have a new song from their album. Yeah,
they're on Amazon. I think there are only the first two songs are available to stream to, kind of test out the...
Yeah, that would make sense because there's been 2 episodes so far. And I've only seen the first episode. The second episode is in Washington, D.C., and I'm sure that they're going to go over, like, Fugazi and stuff like that.
Sure.
Whereas, like, when they were in Chicago, they went over Cheap Trick and, a bunch of different bands and artists there. And then the third episode, I've seen a preview for it, is going to be in Nashville. And so,
there's any number of bands that they could go.
Yeah, and they're going to go all across the country to these different cities and just explore their musical history.
That's cool.
Is really awesome.
Yeah.
It's a really good show to watch. I love Dave Grohl.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, you would really like it. And Dave Grohl's awesome, and the interviews that they get are really, really cool. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that show. I definitely like it. Good God, twist your wrist off.
I just popped both my wrists.
And that's it for me. That was the last one. I told you that there was more music to come.
Yep. I also watched The Walking Dead. How brutal was the dispatching of the cannibals?
Oh, it was pretty brutal.
Holy crap!
I was very satisfied with that.
Yeah.
It's just no mercy.
Yeah,
because screw those guys. Seriously, I mean,
I've heard other people say this, but it's true of me. I expected him to be around a while as a persistent villain, like the governor was.
I didn't see him like that.
And man, nope.
I expected them to die, but I thought it was going to be off of the tainted meat.
Oh, Bob,
that was awesome. Yeah. And see, that's the thing too, is that it wasn't super obvious at the end of the last episode that he got bit, but it was pretty obvious that he got bit. Yeah. And when they were chowing down on Bob's leg, I was sitting there just going, nah.
But I mean, everybody's already got
The disease.
The disease.
And
it's
so
just
I don't
something
know
has to kill you.
Right. And so I don't know if eating
it would be the equivalent of like a severe food poisoning episode or something
that would kill you eventually.
I don't know.
Well,
because everybody's already got it. I didn't understand what the whole thing behind tainted meat was.
Well, yeah. I mean, and it obviously didn't kill them, but they weren't really alive long enough to see if it would have.
Not really. Not really. Then I also watched Sons of Anarchy, and I'm one episode ahead of you. Man, stuff is really building.
Is Gemma dead yet?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. Stuff's happening.
Stuff's happening. Stuff and things.
Stuff and things. Definitely happening.
Coral.
And here's something I've been watching that you would probably be interested in because everything that you told me about the West Wing kind of seems like this show. It's Madam Secretary. With Tay Leone.
Yeah, I've seen ads for that on CBS.
It's pretty similar. No, it's a weird show because it's political drama, not comedy, but kind of light-hearted-ish.
Well, the West Wing can be that way too.
But then all of a sudden, in the background, and they only touch on it here and there, and it's usually at the end of the episode of each episode. There's this conspiracy background of the CIA killing the previous Secretary of State. Yeah, something very
that's strange,
dark that doesn't really fit in with the rest of the show.
That's weird.
Yeah.
So they're almost, it seems like they're trying to mix like House of Cards and the West Wing and put it into a show.
Yeah. It's very strange. I mean, I haven't written the show off because I enjoy it, and I kind of like her.
Yeah, she's a decent actress.
Yeah. She hasn't always been, but I like her in this.
Yeah. There's another kind of political show that I've been thinking about getting into that's only on Amazon Prime. It's that Alpha House.
Not familiar. Was that one of the ones that graduated from vote on this show to see if it goes to regular series?
It seems like they're on their second season.
Okay. And
it's John Goodman is in the show, and it seems like it has to do with like Washington lobbyists or something like that.
Okay.
And it looks kind of like a comedy kind of thing. I love John Goodman, so I would. Yeah. I've been thinking about picking up that show and just seeing what it is.
Okay, well, definitely. I'll add it to the list to check out. I also watched some Homeland. Man, I love that show.
Yeah, I still am not watching the Homeland, just yet. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to watch everything that I'm watching now, and then Homeland will get to the end of its season. I'll download every episode.
How far are you on it, or have you watched any?
I haven't watched any of it.
Oh, really?
No, yeah. So that's why this point I'm thinking I'll just watch what I'm watching now, and then when I get done with it, I'll download every episode because it'll probably be over by then, and just binge watch it in a weekend. That's what I did with House of Cards. I had not seen an episode of House of Cards, and then I watched 2 episodes in a weekend, or 2 seasons in a weekend. Wow. Well, I couldn't stop. It was so good.
It's so good.
I didn't have anything else to do that weekend, and I could not stop.
I don't think I finished season 2 of House of Cards.
Oh, God, it's so good.
I was watching it with my mom.
Yeah.
And I think we only got halfway through the season 2.
Yeah. Yeah, House of Cards and Kevin Spacey are going to be the only reason I might play the new Call of Duty.
Yeah, because I'm going to rent it.
Well, yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do too, because I only want the story.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for Kevin Spacey and the story that looks pretty decent, I'm so done with that franchise.
Fair enough.
I can't stand that franchise anymore.
Yeah. Let's see. I also watched South Park, the newest episode of South Park.
Oh, yeah, I guess I did
it's
too.
About Lyft.
Oh no, that's not the newest one.
Oh, it isn't?
The newest one, it's about drones, not like the drones you can get off of Amazon.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that one, it's pretty decent. It's
Okay.
better than the Lift episode for
Oh, really?
sure.
I thought that one was pretty funny.
I liked it, but God, I don't know. This season has been really kind of
All right.
of South
I've been
Park.
enjoying it okay.
I liked the first episode. The
Oh, what was the first episode?
I said I liked it, and I can't remember what it was, but I remember liking it.
Oh, okay.
You know?
No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I'm in that same situation. I don't remember what order the shows I've seen
it
are
was
in.
the gluten-free. It was the gluten-free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
That one was, I was a fan.
Yeah. Also watched an episode of Talking Dead,
Okay.
but I'm behind on Talking Dead, caught up on Walking Dead.
Well, it's good that you're not behind on
Yeah.
on Walking Dead and caught up on Talking Dead, because there really wouldn't be a point to watching The
Right.
Walking Dead.
You know, I really enjoy the show. I enjoy Chris Hardwick as a host for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Kind of a TV show fanboy thing. Because he also hosted Talking Bad, which was the Breaking Bad fanboy show.
I've never watched Talking Dead, but I watched all of Talking Bad.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And they have actors and other famous people and people from the show. They're actually talking about the show each episode. So
Yeah,
good.
Chris Hardwick does a really good job.
yep. American Dad, Comic Book Man,
Oh, crap. Yeah, I did watch Comic Book Men, too.
the most
I forgot.
recent one,
Mhm.
and that old guy just strolled in there with those first issues.
Yeah, just strolls in with number 1 of X-Men, the Avengers, Spider-Man, and what else? Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
God, just like, oh yeah, meh, here you go. Brr, brr,
You
I've
want
got-
any of these? We can't afford any of those. We'll take this one.
We'll take the cheapest one you have, which wasn't even a number 1. It was like
No,
it was like Fantastic
48
Four
or something.
58. I don't know.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. But yeah, and it's like, if I had those, I would be carrying those around with a suitcase handcuffed to my wrist.
Yeah.
I mean, those are so valuable.
And he said his private collection is like 8,000 comics or something like that.
Yeah. And like that's what he does. He's like a broker. And
Yeah.
he was just he's probably already has those.
He's
And
probably
then-
he's probably got multiple copies of them.
Yeah, and Walt just loved the guy.
Yeah.
Like, just like
Yeah.
that was insane. That was just insanity. That made me want to, punch a wall, because there are people out there that have multiple issues of X-Men number 1 and brr.
Let me just toss these 4 comics worth $11,000 on the counter.
You guys interested? Oh, you can't afford them? Sorry.
Excuse me while I whip this out. Yeah, they don't even attempt
No, they're like
to make an
"No,
offer on
nope."
any of the other ones.
Because there's no way they could have
Yeah.
afforded, any of those, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
Although
unless
they didn't look graded.
Oh, they weren't graded. They weren't graded,
But they looked in really good condition.
they looked like they were in pretty decent condition. And see, that's the thing, is that as long as they're not in just piss poor condition, the issues like that are going to be super valuable, like in
Yeah.
the thousands of dollars. If those were in mint condition, there would not have even been.
If they'd been graded, and it costs, what is it? It costs like $150, $200 to get it graded by the.
I don't even
it's-
think it's that much.
No?
Really. I think it's a little bit cheaper than that. I think it also depends on the book too. I'm
Okay.
not sure, because there are some books that I have seen graded that are not worth anywhere near $150, $200.
Sure.
Which I guess it still could possibly be
But
that,
they've-
because the benefit to it is.
Yeah, there was something they had last season, where the guy told them that it wasn't the comic wasn't worth enough to go to send off to get graded.
Yeah. I mean, that could be, but I've seen like new issues have a CGC grade.
Really?
Yeah, like because there will be like a key issue of like a variant cover that I want, and I can't find it at the local store, so I go on eBay and I'll try to find it that way. And it's like a week after it came out, and there's it's already sealed in a CGC graded case, and it's an issue that came out maybe 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
But
all right. That's interesting.
Yeah. And so it definitely happens, because even if it's not worth putting a grade on it at the moment, some people do it in anticipation of it. Like if it's a number one issue of something or something
or
like that,
limited print.
Because the quicker you get it graded and sealed in that case, that is its grade forever. Right. And so if you can get it graded at like 9.8, like as soon as it came out and everything. There's most of the near mint issues are graded 9.2, and if you got a Detective Comics 27 at 9.2, it's worth like $1.5 million or something like that. And so if you have each point that it goes up from there, its value goes up exponentially. So if it was 9.3, it would be even more than that. 9.4, even more. So.
From there, let's see. Family Guy, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Plebs, American Horror Story.
The Huge.
Horror Story is pretty good this season. It's kind of, it's moving kind of slow. It hasn't quite indicated where it's going to go yet.
Yeah,
which is pretty typical of the first half of each season. You're not sure exactly
where it's going to go. I'm not interested at this point.
Neil Patrick Harris.
I know. I saw that you posted that.
Got confirmed as having joined the
cast later on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably going to be another show like Homeland. Like the season will be over, and then I'll just go and watch it in a day or something like that.
Their clown, killer clown. It's great.
Yeah, that's what everyone keeps saying. Is that is really good, and that's of course.
If I'd had time, that would have been my Halloween costume.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I think I said this last week, but that's Norm from the Fargo movie. Marge's husband.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, Drew Carey's transvestite brother in the Drew Carey Show.
Right.
So, I mean, it kind of makes sense that he was a clown because to steal a joke from Patton Oswalt, a clown is really a transvestite that just doesn't stop.
Which is weird because they're not dressed as women.
They just keep going, like if you were walking down the street and you saw a transvestite with your kid, you'd be like, okay, Timmy, just leave him alone. That's his own thing. But then he's like, oh no, wait. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I didn't know you were going to use an entire tube of lipstick on one cheek. Please entertain my child.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to what you playing, Brick. Fascinate me with your what you playing list.
Oh, it's so extensive. NBA 2K15 done.
Why are you not playing Destiny?
Because I have it on PS4 and I don't want to play it on PS4 anymore. I need to get it on Xbox One.
We had this discussion before.
I know. I'm gonna get it on Xbox One. Just be patient.
Chill.
Just chill.
You're gonna wait till a new used copy comes through the.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. I'm gonna wait until I have more money because see, that's the thing is I played NBA this week, didn't really even play that much.
Okay.
It's not like I've been sitting there playing a bunch of NBA. I played like a couple of games.
Gotcha.
And I've been doing other stuff, and then most of my free time has been spent watching stuff.
Nice.
And so it's just gaming is not a top priority right now.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I played some Destiny.
Did you? That's
Played some with Will and Sam, and then Will and one of his buddies from the police academy.
Oh wow, that's strange that all of you are playing Destiny. It's not like I've had to deal with you coordinating games on GroupMe at all.
There was this Sam and I had this awesome moment. We were playing PvP. He, Will, and I were all on the same team. It was a control thing, where you control the map points,
Mm-hmm.
and it was on one of the Mars maps. It's in the little refinery area where there's B inside the building, C is underneath the overhang, and then A is kind of an elevated position, off by itself. And we were at the low end, pointing towards the automatic doors that head out towards A, and we had sniped 5 or 6 people. And then we were talking, we're like, we were laughing and talking. So then it was quiet for a second. I was like, we got to get out of here.
We have to go now.
They're coming to kill us.
They are coming right now.
Yeah. So it was a funny moment.
They're going to hold us down.
We've got to go.
Us in the ass forever.
Right.
If we don't leave right now.
Yeah. So it was kind of a funny moment. I'm so glad to get to play with those two guys.
I haven't played.
It'd be nice if I also got to play with yourself and Monsieur Jordan.
Yeah, the only person that I've played any games with over the past 5 years has been Sam, and that's just been because of NCAA and Madden.
Boy, it's been a long time since I've played any games with you.
Yeah, I think it was you were at the store still.
Has it been that long?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh man,
that was the last time.
We closed down the store in 2009.
Yeah, so it's been about 5 years because that was the.
So it would have been Halo 3?
Probably 3. Yeah, it probably would have been Halo 3 or Crackdown or something. You
didn't play any Borderlands with us?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Man. It's been a long time since I played any games with Scott, too.
Or
same, Tavis, or...
Same thing with Scott. Not Tavis yet, but Scott, Madden and NCAA.
Yeah.
That's the only ones. And it's just because we set up those leagues, and I get those games every year anyway. So I'm like, well, I may as well. Which I haven't been able to play my games so far because I still haven't dealt with my Xbox Live snafu that's gone on. Did I tell you about this?
No, I don't think so.
I had a credit card on file to automatically renew it. Yeah, it did not renew it.
Yeah,
because it was expired. So I put in the new credit card that I have, and figured it would just jump over to that one, charge it, and I'd be good to go. No. So I tried to take the expired one off, and it says, no, you can't take the expired one off because you have a pending charge on the expired one. So we're not going to make it as easy on you just putting a new credit card on here. You now have to call and be on hold with support to get the credit card taken off of there.
And you haven't done that yet?
No, because I tried it. I tried a couple days ago, and I was on hold for 45 minutes. I was like, nope, I've got other stuff to do. I'm not doing this right now. So I'm going to have to do it tomorrow or something. Okay.
Just put your phone on speakerphone and continue on with whatever else you're doing.
Yeah, I know.
Until they pick up.
That's just frustrating.
It is. You really
that
can't
process
sit there.
Could be so much easier.
Yeah, I agree.
As in, just... if there's another credit card that's not expired on there, let me take the other one off and put that charge on the other one that's not expired. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
I feel your pain, sir.
Yeah.
Feel your pain.
I'll get there.
All right. Anything else?
Mm-mm.
Anything you want to talk about?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, I think that about does it for us today. That is a show. Episode 297. It's kind of like the Halloween show.
Kind of.
Tomorrow's Halloween.
Sure is. So, may as well be.
Only by proximity, not by content.
Oogie boogie boogie. Now it's by both.
Okay.
I'm just jazzed to be on the show.
I knew you would be.
Yeah.
I knew you would be. Okay, love you, bye.
I'm getting tired of the catchphrase that I stole at this point.